Waluigi!
There's been plenty of rumors about a new Mario Kart ready to be announced any day now, and I play the heck out of this franchise, so it only makes sense to talk about what I want for the next game. Let's start with tracks, the core of any racing game, and I want to address retro tracks. Most of the deserving tracks have been remade, and the idea can't feel fresh forever, even with the amazing work that was put into Mario Kart 8's tracks. I have an alternative. No retro tracks on release. 0. Imagine 32 brand spanking new tracks where Nintendo can take full advantage of modern mechanics and exciting design which can follow in Mario Kart 8's footsteps. Just about every track in Mario Kart 8 is engaging and plays very well. Honestly though, I would love to have retro tracks again, but they should have significant changes like what was done with N64 Rainbow Road, and less like what was done with Grumble Volcano or Moo Moo Meadows where very little changed. I would love to see Maple Treeway, Rosalina's Ice World, Banshee Boardwalk, and Coconut Mall in full HD feeling fresh. Keep the theme and what they are at their core, but alter paths and mechanics, make it fun. As for characters, I'm gonna create a roster of 30, or else it would be too easy to say everyone should be in the game. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, Bowser, DK, Wario, Waluigi, and Toad are the 10 essential characters because of their large presence. Characters that should be included due to popularity or uniqueness are Rosalina, Funky and Diddy Kong, King Boo, Bowser Jr., Toadette, and the Mii. Also a few baby characters, Mario, Luigi, and Peach are more than enough. I think non-Mario characters are great as long as they fit the vibe of the game and don't take up much of the roster. Link and the villagers should stay simply because their franchises are huge. I'd like to see Kirby with his Warp Star and Captain Falcon just because it makes sense. I could also see Nintendo moving on from F-Zero because that's old news and shove Pikachu in the game instead. That's 24 characters so far. I want to address Mario Kart 8's costume issue. Characters like Cat Peach, Metal Mario, and even Dry Bowser either need to become unlockable costumes with a voice filter or become more unique. You could even include villagers, Inklings, Koopalings, and the babies in this problem to an extent. I love me some Dry Bowser, but he should feel more than the cooler Bowser in padding to the roster. I think Metal Mario and Dry Bowser have the potential to be unique, so I'll count them in. For the last 4, I think Petey Piranha, Birdo, Egad, and Kamek would make great additions to the roster. Petey and Birdo are in many games, and Egad and Kamek are currently relevant and were considered in the past. Some other ideas I had were Pauline, Young Rosalina, Dixie Kong, King K. Rool, Goomba, King Babam, and even the Broodals. I would love to have Dixie. She's adorable and fits the vibe. It's difficult to have a fun new roster when Nintendo isn't creating many new Mario characters. They could create a story mode with original characters, but I'll get back to that idea. Items are what makes Mario Kart great, and there's some work to be done. I'm going to make this brief, as a list of what I think should be buffed, nerfed, or adjusted would be a whole video on its own. Mario Kart needs to go back down to 1 item slot so this game is less chaotic and sandbagging is heavily nerfed. Boomerang, Piranha Plant, Boo, and the coin especially need to be gone. These items either aren't fun to play against due to lack of counterplay or don't provide substantial value to the player. A little more info with my opinion on the Boo item. It's kind of a worse version of a star, and the items you're stealing from players aren't great most of the time, as you're stealing from higher ranks. It's irritating to play against, and invisibility doesn't offer much value in racing either. One adjustment worth talking about here is the much hated Spiny Shell. This thing can be such a buzzkill, so I want the shell to no longer be available in item boxes once a player is in the last half of the last lap to stop screwing players over at the very end. Some reliable counterplay would be appreciated too. Now with that out of the way, are there any new items that Mario Kart could benefit from? Fundamentally, all bases are covered. Invincibility and speed for those behind, weak but versatile defense when ahead, crowd control for the middle of the pack, spiny against breakaways, and lightning for falling behind. It's all balanced well and all of it has counterplay, but that doesn't mean the franchise couldn't be better or more fun with additional items. Perhaps a Thwomp item could be implemented to create impassable terrain in front of players, or Kamek's wand would reverse controls for a short time. Maybe we could see new mechanics where saving up something like 3 bananas turns into a giant banana, or absorbing items for increased stats that race instead of using them. I'm open to new ideas. The game doesn't need new items, but it keeps the game fresh. While there's no shortage of fun, Mario Kart only has a few ways to play. There's Grand Prix, Time Trial, Battle, Versus, or Online mode. They're all pretty similar except Battle mode, which is the only thing there to really shake things up. Mario Kart could use some more fun in the single player department, so a story mode would be perfect. This would be a great opportunity to create original characters for the roster like I was saying. This also creates a much more fun and satisfying way to unlock content compared to just collecting coins over time. I'm thinking of something similar to CTR or Diddy Kong Racing. This is my biggest desire of all things I'm discussing today. If they announced that, I'd be pretty hyped. Some other ideas I have is a VR mode to immerse yourself, a track builder which the MK Wii fans would appreciate, and a reverse mode. Reverse mode would replace mirror mode because that's really old and doesn't change things up that much. This means you would race the track backwards with a few modifications to make the course work. This was actually considered for Mario Kart Double Dash, which made me really happy to find out because I like driving backwards for fun. I'd also like to see the All Cup Tour make a comeback. It's a lot of racing in one go, but would make for quite the achievement. I'm gonna end things off with some systematic changes. Let's talk about playing online. VR is a better representation of how long you've played online rather than your skill level. Matchmaking is whack because of this, and it takes forever to build VR. If we had a rating system like MK Wii's, then the points would actually mean something and help you match up with similar players. I would also enjoy being able to pick tracks again, but just having that track be locked for a while afterwards, and no more forced 200cc mode. It's a completely different game. The last thing I want to talk about is builds. I like how it's been evolving, and I have ways to spice it up to make gameplay feel fresh. Characters or parts could have abilities and passives unique to them. Things like Wario is slightly more likely to pull a bomb, or have an enhanced version of the item when he does pull it. Nintendo could go back into the Double Dash days and make completely new items only certain characters can get. Maybe a car part could start your race with 10 coins or block the first thing that hits you. A certain wheel part could allow you to drift off-road. Going back to the item absorbing idea, if you absorb bananas it would give you more acceleration stat, green shells for weight, mushrooms for speed. These ideas would really shake up the gameplay, adding plenty of depth while keeping what it is at its core. You would truly be able to individualize your build and create your playstyle. But I would also like if stats weren't tied to characters, just like what CTR Nitro Fueled did, so everyone can play their favorite character and dominate too. What do you think of all this craziness? I spent a lot of time thinking about this and love these ideas. I hope at least a few of them are part of the new game. Tell me your opinions, I want to know. Subscribe and thanks for watching.